Mike Woodson, Mike D'Antoni, Jeff Hornacek, David Fizdale, Derek Fisher. What do all these men have in common? They all used to be former Knicks head coaches, but none of them lasted long enough to make an impact on the New York Knicks. Perhaps until now, because as of right now, we may be seeing the New York Knicks franchise turning back in the right direction. And that is because of one man, Tom Thibodeau. At least according to one NBA insider, because this insider believes, given the job that Tom Thibodeau has done with the New York Knicks, he deserves an extension with the franchise. We're also going to look at some players on the Knicks right now that may back the Knicks, giving Tom Thibodeau that extension. All of this and so much more today. Let's get started. Tom Thibodeau may be receiving an extension with the New York Knicks, at least according to one NBA insider. According to Stefan Bondy of the New York Post, he states the following. Tom Thibodeau's deal, it expires after 2024-2025, and sooner rather than later, the Knicks' best coach in 2 decades, the man most responsible for turning a franchise from rubble into respectability, deserves a contract extension. But Bondy didn't stop there. He stated that Thibodeau, whose salary for next season is believed to be in the $5 million range, has more wins in his first 3 seasons than any Knicks head coach not named Red Holzman or Pat Riley. And he continued again by stating the following. Mitchell Robinson, a second-round pick who was a living, breathing personal foul before Thibs. Emmanuel Quickley and Quentin Grimes, late first-round picks projected as end-of-rotation players. R.J. Barrett, a bust as a rookie. Julius Randle and Jalen Brunson, neither were even offered extensions from the teams that drafted them. So what Stefan Bondy is trying to say here is that Mitchell Robinson, Julius Randle, Jalen Brunson, R.J. Barrett, all, to a little bit of an extent, deserve some credit from Tom Thibodeau as making them better basketball players while he's coached them. And I think to an extent, you have to believe that is true. Especially what he's saying about Mitchell Robinson here. Because the Mitchell Robinson point for me is the strongest. Mitchell Robinson, before Tom Thibodeau joined the Knicks, always, and I mean always, was getting into foul trouble. Left and right. Hitting people, getting into silly fouls, committing silly fouls, and riding the bench for too long. And just because of the player that he is and what he means to this New York Knicks team, having him ride the bench just hurt the Knicks in so many ways. Tom Thibodeau comes, that all stops. Not right away, but slowly and surely, he started becoming better for the New York Knicks, more dependable for the New York Knicks. And honestly, last season, he was the best offensive rebounder in the game. All of that happened under Tom Thibodeau. So Steph Bondy definitely makes a case, maybe even a little bit of a stronger one that I even thought he could make, into why Tom Thibodeau may deserve that extension from the New York Knicks. And he also mentioned the following about Tom Thibodeau, which I thought was an interesting point. He mentioned that Tom Thibodeau has more wins in his first 3 seasons than any coach not named Red Holzman or Pat Riley. And if you're a Knicks fan, you know those 2 other coaches are part of Knicks greatness. When you think about them, you think about the Knicks that used to be good, used to be great, used to be competitive, playoff bound. I could keep going. So the fact that Tom Thibodeau is being mentioned with the likes of them is absolutely a testament to what he's done with this New York Knicks franchise. And if you know me and you followed me, follow my social media, it may not come to a surprise or a shock to you that I'm not the biggest Tom Thibodeau fan. I'm not a fan of some of the things he does as a coach. I don't like his adjustments. I don't like his system basketball type of schemes and play. I don't like the dribble handoff. I certainly don't like the fact that he uses Mitchell Robinson only as a rebounder and a putback dunker, but doesn't allow him to do a little bit more, because I feel like Robinson, if given the chance, could give you a little bit more. I also don't like how he utilizes some of the players that he has. I feel like there are certain players that thrive when they're put in certain positions. But him, I think he puts players in certain positions based on what he believes is going to work because of their length and athleticism. And while that's fair and understandable, I think it's also fair to look at your roster and see who plays better with who and also where players are better positioned. And I feel he doesn't do that, because if he did, RJ Barrett would be in his natural position, the 2. We would not be hearing anything about Josh Hart playing his unnatural position, a 4 position. Even though he can play it, it doesn't mean that he should play it. It doesn't mean he's going to get the same opportunities playing the 4 than if he was playing the 3. We have to remember that. A lot of people do not want to mention or call out Tom Thibodeau about that. And I think it's fair to say that the fan base is split on Tom Thibodeau. Some fans love him, love what he's done, and think that he's helped the New York Knicks get to the place they are now and will only be a benefit to the Knicks as they grow in the future. And some other people, myself included, feel like he has done a good job, but has taken the New York Knicks here. And that's as far as Tom Thibodeau is going to get this team. Kind of like with Golden State with Mark Jackson, he was able to take that team all the way to here, but he couldn't get them past the hump. Steve Kerr came in and unlocked them. Now, maybe they could have made that jump with Mark Jackson. We may not know that. However, I think the story is good to look at the New York Knicks in the same light. Tom Thibodeau, great job, has got the Knicks here, but I don't think he's going to get them to that next level. We need somebody else to come in here to take over as the New York Knicks coach to get the Knicks to the next level and utilize this talent just a little bit differently, to unlock them, to maximize what they can give this team, because that's the way we get this Knicks team to another level, more attractive, and for more star players to want to come here and join the movement of what we're doing with the New York Knicks in the best team in New York. And that is something that I think a lot of people are looking at when they look at Tom Thibodeau. Unfortunately, though, the decision to extend Thibs or pay Thibs a little bit more money to stay on as the Knicks head coach is not in my decision, and it's not even in the fans' decision. It's in James Dolan and, to an extent, Leon Rose's decision. And if they're going by that, they're also going to go by what players say about Tom Thibodeau. And if that's any indication, then Tom Thibodeau may be the Knicks head coach for years to come. Why do I say that? Because players are actually backing Tom Thibodeau and saying great things about him. One of those players is Emmanuel Quickley. He states the following about Tom Thibodeau. He's not only a great coach, but he's also a great inspirer. Even today, he was talking about the day-to-day grind of you have to start with the end in mind. And basically, you have to think about how hard you have to work every single day to be where you want to be at the end of the year. You think he's the only one? He's not. Julius Randle also gave Thibs some shout-outs and some praise. Julius Randle said the following: "Every time we practice, I almost know what Thibs is about to say before he says it. It's great. And chemistry just keeps getting stronger and stronger. Building off that. The trust is there more and more." It's important to have a coach for a long period of time. If that's not a statement directed to the Knicks management organization, I don't know what else is. Quickly, Julius Randle, 2 prominent players that have done very well under Tom Thibodeau, have actually spoken out in regards to Tom Thibodeau doing great as a coach, praising him as a coach, and obviously the front office and everybody's going to hear this. And if they like him, they respect him, and they love the building, the continuity, if you will, the chemistry, if you will, and they love the direction, I can absolutely see James Dolan and Leon Rose giving Tom Thibodeau that extension and not even thinking twice about it, especially if the players love him, respect him, and want to keep him on. And Julius Randle is the best player, or arguably one of the best players on the New York Knicks, right behind Jalen Brunson. Emmanuel Quickley came off of a season last year where he was runner-up for 6th Man of the Year. Both of these players, what they say and their impact on the team, it matters. And for Tom Thibodeau, I think it absolutely is going to benefit him in the right way. It scares me to say this, and it might scare some of you guys to say this, especially some of you guys that are more anti-Thibs like me. I think Tom Thibodeau might be the New York Knicks head coach, not only for this season, but for next season, the year after that, the year after that, and the year after that. I think Tom Thibodeau is going to get that extension with the Knicks, and I think he's going to be the Knicks head coach until he doesn't want the job anymore. That's how well I think he's connected with the Knicks, with Leon Rose, with James Dolan, but also, and this is maybe something for Thibs, that's how much respect Tom Thibodeau commands within the Knicks organization right now, which tells me when he steps away from coaching, he absolutely is going to go into the Knicks management and be a prominent figure there. Maybe even take on a Gerson Rosa role, perhaps. That's the type of power I believe Tom Thibodeau is going to have when it's all said and done as his time as a Knicks head coach. But as of right now, he's not going to get fired. He's loved by the team, a lot of players. Stefan Bondi believes he deserves an extension, gave a lot of great points on it. I may not like it. I may not believe it. I may have given you a lot of points as to why I wouldn't like to see it. But nonetheless, it doesn't matter because I'm not making those decisions and neither are you. It's James Dolan and Leon Rose. But what about you guys? What do you guys think about Tom Thibodeau potentially receiving an extension with the New York Knicks? Do you think he deserves it? Or, like me, do you think he's lived out his time as the Knicks head coach and the Knicks deserve a new head coach? Let me know in the comments because honestly, guys, I would love to hear from you. But that's going to do it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, go ahead and smash that like button. Leave a comment below. But of course, guys, please subscribe to the channel. Until next time, Knick fans. Peace.